Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to YouTube and Faceache, as I like to call it. How are we all doing today? I can see the comments going off on YouTube as per usual. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. How are you? And yes, Lizzie, I am always up to something. And today, what was really interesting, if those of you have seen the Schumann resonance, at the exact time the Schumann resonance was popping off today, I was doing a live on Instagram. I'd run quite a distance and I just decided, right, I'm going to hop on Instagram and do a live. I was really in the space of, creating the mind, allowing the mind to create for us. And yeah, to say the Schumann went off is an understatement. So how are we all doing, my friends? It has been one heck of a week. I can't wait to talk to you about it all. Veronica, it's beautiful to see you, my darling. I hope you and Norway are doing amazing today. Hi, Linda. How are you? It's good to have you on with us. Veronica, again, just watched the most beautiful sky thanks to your work. Colourful, excited for today's first chat with you. Baby girl is excited too. I cannot wait to have a big squeeze with her on the 22nd of March in Birmingham. Literally cannot wait. Auntie Lucy Cuddles coming in. In fact, if she wants to do the seminar with me, I'm absolutely okay with that, so that you can just enjoy yourself. Don't know how you feel about that, but she is more than welcome to sit on my hip for the day. I have no problem with that at all. I love the fact that you guys are all getting to know each other in the chat, so it's absolutely amazing. Hello, sunny Wales. How are you, my darling girl? I hope you're well. Been getting some good feedback about you, my love, but that's for another day. It's definitely. I am always up to something. Hello, SL Sully, whoever you are. It's lovely to see you on here. I recognise the name, but I don't know your first name, so I do apologise for that. Marilyn, it's good to see you, my darling. I hope you are well, and I hope I will get to see you soon. I can't remember where you're based in Scotland, but I am going to be in Glasgow in June. News hot off the press for those of you that don't know. I'm going to be doing, we've changed it from a 5-date tour. Morwenna has told me off. She's put me on the naughty step and said, we're not doing 5, we're doing 3. So I'm going to be in Southampton, London, and up to Glasgow in Scotland, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Hey, Sylvia, how are you doing, my darling? I know you've been getting some massive shifts recently, so it's beautiful to see your name pop up on here. How pale am I looking? I look like I need to get out in the sunshine, don't I? Honestly, I'm like, what has happened to my skin, my little brown skin? Oh my goodness, it's gone. Yes, I'm glad she's preparing for huge squeezes because Auntie Lucy will not let her go. No, Lizzie, you're not having cuddles. No, this is all about me. Just kidding. Sandy, it's lovely to have you on, my friend. You don't need to apologize. Your YouTube name is SL Sully, which is good enough, but obviously I don't know what your name is. So thank you so much for letting me know, Sandy. I really do appreciate that. Yes, we have got big sunshine going on, and I'm going to explain that. Hi, Helen. I hope you're well. And to those of you on Facebook, Leslie has just popped a beautiful comment. But please, to my friends on Facebook, as you are watching this, please do smash the thumbs up button or the love heart button and comment away, because I can see your comments. I use a platform which basically straddles Facebook and YouTube, which means I can see the comments. It means I can see the Facebook likes. It means I can see the YouTube likes. I can see it all going on, which is a little bit confusing, especially when I'm in the zone. However, please do not think because I'm chatting to the people on YouTube that I cannot see your comments. I love to connect with you guys. So those of you watching on Faceache, please do give us a massive, massive, massive shout out. Share this video. If anyone wants to share this into any my groups, please feel free to do that. I will appreciate you forever for doing so. Let's talk about last Sunday. I'm energetic this morning, feel like asleep now. Yes, I hear you, Sylvia. I hear you. I was saying a short time ago, oh my gosh, I think I need a little nap. And it's as the energies are going off. Hi, Richard. It's lovely to have you on. Hi, Jan. Good to see you. Absolutely amazing to have you guys join us today. So first and foremost, we are going to be talking about the consequences of shortcuts today. So it's going to be very interesting what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to share my opinions. I'm going to talk about psychedelics. I'm going to talk about the spiritual journey. I'm going to talk about personal development. I am going to go there with all of it. Morwenna, my beautiful, beautiful head coach, thank you for joining us. It's lovely to see your name pop up. And I was just telling everybody that we've gone from a 5-date tour to a 3-date tour because you've told me off. So you've just turned up in the nick of time, my beautiful friend. I hope you're having the most successful Monday that you could possibly wish for. So we are last Sunday I did some work and it was very much about bringing cleansing and bringing wholeness into my bestie, hi, I love you, I miss you, we'll chat later or we'll chat tomorrow, but I miss you anyway. Yes, so last Sunday I did some cleansing work in the New Forest in England. And if you've never been to the New Forest, it is one of the most special places that you will ever go to. No matter where I've been around the world, the New Forest is always my favourite place. You know, I've been to the Lake District. I've been to Scotland. I love Scotland, by the way. It's so beautiful. I'm going to spend some time up there this year for sure. However, I always, when people say to me, where is your favourite place in the world? I always come back to the New Forest. It is the most beautiful place. Admittedly, the sun helps it a lot, but it's just so, it's like going back to basics. So for me to do this work last Sunday, was such a privilege. And it was just a deep cleansing and a deep clearing. And what actually happened was it basically just set the energies up into what we now have going on. And I'm excited to say that we have had 7 days straight of blue skies, haven't we, in the UK? 7 days of blue skies. There's none of those weird lines in the skies. There's none of those, there's this beautiful yellow ball of light in the sky. I don't know if any of you know what any of that means, but it's very rare for England to get this weather for a consistent period of time like that. So it is your responsibility now, my friends, to really work on your karma and the collective cleansing of all of us around the world. We are empowering ourselves to really ditch the old stories. And the more we focus on it and the more we do it, the more that we're going to get this weather. That is something that I am absolutely certain of. And it is not easy to do this massive purging. I mean, I don't know about you guys. How have you been feeling? I've been emotional. I've been hard work. Let's be real. I've been sassy more than ever. And this is just the collective purge that we are taking place. And we have to go through this. If we want to create a world which is just pure peace and harmony and love and divine connection and divine intervention, then it is really, really important that you recognize you have to do your piece of the puzzle. It's all good and well. There's people like me out there doing it on behalf of the collective, but we also have to purge our own personal stuff. And really, guys, we need your help to do this. Leslie, I get that. I have felt like shit at times as well. I have felt emotional at times. I have felt highly strung at times. I haven't felt that angry, which is quite good because anger used to be my thing back in the day. Haven't really felt that angry, to be honest, but like questioning everything and really like Katie's just put funky. There is no other words for it. It's just kind of like a bit of a and a bit of a sassy, like you guys know my ego is called Sassy Sally, and gonna be real, here she comes out and she gets a bit of a sass pot from time to time. So it's really important that we recognize that these energies are on a collective. Sandy, if you ever visit the UK, you must go to the New Forest. It is the most beautiful place. I think it was Leslie that was saying a short time ago, like literally we have cows and horses and everything, deer, you name it, everything just roams free. So like you can walk down the street in one of the villages in the New Forest and there's ponies there, or there's donkeys there, or there's cows there. It is absolutely amazing if you're into that kind of thing. Now, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't like that stuff. They like to be in the cities. They like to be around the high rise. They like to be around the busyness. They like to be around the clubs and the bars and all that stuff. Not me. That makes me want to vomit. Please put it on your bucket list, Sandy. If you follow me on social media, then you will check out some of the pictures that I put up from time to time. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love going to nice restaurants and I like going, and dancing, especially if it's on the beach and like, that kind of thing. But leave me in the forest, surrounded by animals in absolute peace, and I am the happiest girl in the world. Like, I am that person that would willingly live in a cottage in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors, and literally I just like come and go and nobody knows what I do. That is me to a T. And what's fascinating is I think my nan's going to channel me. Actually, I keep getting her energy coming into me, and I'm itching my nose. It means I'm probably going to start channeling my nan. God rest her soul, she died 22, 23 years ago now. And before she died, she kept saying, Lucy, you need to live in the forest, just live in the middle of nowhere and just have animals surrounded by you. Like, that's what she was used to say. And I used to be like, Nan, what are you talking about? Like, I was a city girl at that point. I was like a high flying executive director working for investment banks, and I'm like, you're crazy, woman, like what on earth are you doing? But let me tell you straight, she had my number. For sure, she had my number. Sylvia, if you've never been to the New Forest, get your butt to the New Forest. I cannot recommend it enough. It is amazing. I'm going to get a load of me and my girlfriends to go to the New Forest show in the summer, because I'm like, we're going. I just want to hang out in the New Forest as much as I possibly can. So I absolutely love it. This is where I'm at my happiest, when I am in that space. Anyway, I've literally just rambled on for the last 13 minutes about ponies and New Forest and stuff. It is absolutely amazing. Just, if you ever get the opportunity, just go and hang out there. It is so good for your soul. Like, don't get me wrong, the ocean is really good for my soul as well. But I don't know if it was here I was speaking about it or somewhere else. The ocean gives me the energy. So like, I go to the ocean when I really need to pick me up and when I really need to be energized. Coming into the forest is a little bit more safe for me. I like it. I enjoy being calm. I enjoy the peace. When I go mountains, it's to really, really push me. It is so that I know what I am capable of doing. And this is what's really important. You need to figure out what that looks like to you. And just as a side note, figure out what your partner likes as well, because if your partner likes to be by the ocean and you like to be in the forest, there's always going to be a bit of a niggle there. So you kind of like need to make sure that you've got somebody a little bit on your wavelength, or you've got multiple properties. That's the only other option for this. Okay. So, like I say, last Sunday, I did this work. And since Monday last week, we have had glorious sunshine in the UK. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I was told that I had to come back to the UK, I had a right hissy fit. And I was told very clearly, physically, by one of my friends, one of my team, actually. He said to me, you're coming back because you need to revel in the energies that you've set up over the last amount of years. And I also knew that I had to be here just to embody and to, just do some of the stuff that I do. And so to see this weather is absolutely glorious. It's glorious. I do not remember weather like this. And admittedly, I haven't really lived in England since lockdown, particularly, but I haven't seen weather like this in England for a consistent amount of time, for a week, in as long as I can remember. So it's so beautiful to see it. And I'm so happy that, clearly there are shifts taking place. Clearly things are moving along now. Because I don't agree with the people that say that they're spraying the skies with good stuff. I don't believe that for a second. The clarity and the the happiness that is coming through by not being sprayed in the last week, oh my goodness, it's like a different world. And Sandy, I'm sending you so much love. I'm going to send you some love, and I will be in America later this year, so hopefully, if you haven't had it before, we'll get some clean air by the time I get there. Melanie, all your comments of please don't leave. I can't make a promise like that, babe. You know what I'm like. When I get the itch, I have to go. However, I am going to be here for a while. I have many reasons to stay. I'm sure you guys are starting to get the memos through some of the things, but yeah, I have many reasons to stay here. So I will, fingers crossed, be here for a while. make of that what you will, my friends. Make of that what you will. Yes, the birds and the animals are loving it. And yes, to be honest, it's more the humans that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the humans. Like, we are fed up with the cold. We're fed up with the grey. Spring has definitely sprung. It is extremely, extremely exciting what is unfolding in front of us right now. I love you lot. You're like, ah, so sweet. Ah, all of my girls. All of the girls out there, I know you guys are fighting the good fight. I think it's really important, actually, that you've mentioned that before I go into the consequence of shortcuts, that we just talk about this fighting energy that is out there. Whenever we're fighting, we're going to get more fight. And I think that's really important to recognize. A lot of people have been speaking to me about protests. As you guys know, I used to be the queen of the protest. I used to lead all of the protests regarding paedophilia, trafficking, things like that over the 2020-2021 period. I ran the last protest, I think, in March 2021. I spoke at a protest around that time as well, on somebody else's protest, and I've never done one since. Why? Because I realized that I was bringing more fight into my life by doing that, and actually I wanted to live a conscious life rather than the fighting life. And actually my life has become so much more peaceful. They really, really have become more peaceful. John, lovely to have you on here. I love the fact that you're like, you've got a man on your Facebook Live. I've got men on YouTube as well, John. But thank you so much for being here with us. The weather has been phenomenal. We have had a week of absolute glorious sunshine, haven't we? And I'm just excited to say that we have, this is the start of it. We just need to collectively come together, step out of that fight energy, and really, really, really create. Hello, Wendy Smith, my beautiful friend. How are you? I cannot wait to share the stage with you on the 22nd of March. I will give you a call in the next few days so that we can chat and get that organised. So, ladies and gents, I am doing a live event on the 22nd of March. I'm going to reprogram your brain for success. It's very, very it's very aligned with what I'm going to be talking about tonight, actually. And my gorgeous friend Wendy, who has just piped up on here, is going to be speaking at there. I'm actually thinking we're going to do a joint chat, which will be absolutely amazing. So this is the start of it, ladies and gents. We need to recognize that what we are putting out, we are receiving back. What we are doing, we are getting back. And this relates to so many different areas of our lives right now. We are in a period of time where the norm is taking shortcuts. We have to recognize that everything that is going on right now, we are looking to take as many shortcuts as possible. And I'm talking about with our personal health journey, where what pill can we pop to lose the weight? What can we do that's going to have a really quick impact on us? Like, how long, the first question people ask me when I recommend supplements and things like that, how long will it take to work? And I'm like, wow. Not right, what's the benefits of this long term in my body? It's all about a shortcut. It's all about how do I quickly get a result? And we are really, really in the world of shortcuts. A quick swipe to the right or left on Tinder or other dating apps, Bumble and things like that. It's just a quick swipe, shortcut. Then on top of that, we're looking for somebody upsets us or whatever. So we go for the dopamine hits, quick shortcuts on Facebook, shortcuts on Instagram. How do we get this going? So how many of you are priding themselves, like I do, in the long game? I still play the long game. I play the long game with my health. I play the long game with my my personal development. I play the long game with my business. I play the long game with relationships, things like that. Don't get me wrong, relationships are challenging, but you have to play the long game with them. But too many of us are taking the short game. So I love that. Yes, we have all been programmed. Absolutely, we have all been programmed. And this is the beautiful thing, right? I run a program called Self Love Club, and it's a very powerful program. Some of the people that are on Self Love Club this year are on here now. And Self Love Club was a 12-month program until September of last year, when it's gone into a 9-month program. And you know the amount of people that go, why can't you just do this in 3 months? Why can't you just? And I'm like, you're not ready. If that's your question, you're not ready. How can you change your life in 3 months? Let me tell you how. Because you get false promises. You get, all of the nonsense that you hear on social media and things like that. I'm not that person. It took me a year, 14 months of reprogramming myself. And then I lived it for 4 years before I ever even considered thinking about sharing it with the world. So I did over 5 years of investing in me, not taking any shortcuts. And my goodness gracious me, did it hurt. It hurt so much. So when people say to me, I've been working on myself for the last 6 months, I'm like, brilliant. Now keep doing that for the next 6 years. Because that's all we have is ourselves. The only thing that we can do is work on ourselves. The other thing that I've noticed a lot at the moment is people want the spiritual journey. Everybody wants an awakening. So they go for Reiki, or they go for, and I'm not slagging anything off, by the way, I'm just calling things out, okay? They go to a quantum healer, or they go for this treatment or that treatment. Quick, get rid of it for me. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you guys, but nobody can do that. Nobody. I have a lady that messages me most weeks about healing, and she's like, Lucy, I need you to do hands-on healing on me. Lucy, I need you to do hands-on healing on me. Nothing has worked. I've read your results. Nothing has worked. And every time I say to her, it doesn't matter how often I put my hands on you, unless you decide that you are done and you are ready to face your demons on why this area of healing needs to take place, then you absolutely will never evolve into receiving the healing that is out there for you. You basically block it. And my friends, this is the premise of shortcuts. Somebody has said to her, I can heal you. I said to her, I can't heal you. You have to heal yourself. Of course, I can hold space for you. Of course, I can help you. Of course, I can show you the way, because I have done it myself. However, I believed so deeply that I could heal the tumors that nearly killed me. I believed so deeply that I had to hold on to my womb because I wanted to have a baby at some point. I could have easily let them take my womb. I could have easily given up on all of it. But I sat there and I didn't take a shortcut. And do you know what I did? My mum said to me, maybe you need to consider like the operation. And do you know what I did? I blagged my way out of the hospital. If you haven't read my book, then I'm going to share the story with you. I blagged my way out of the hospital. The next day, I got on a flight to Sydney after I had just had a blood transfusion. And I could have easily gone into a cardiac arrest or any of that stuff, got a blood clot whilst in this process. So I wouldn't recommend it, by the way. But I went on the long journey. I never took a shortcut. I went and spent a few weeks dipping in lake water, fasting, exercising, getting out in nature. I got rid of all social media. Didn't matter that I had a business. I got rid of it all because this is the long game. I decided that my physical body and my physical health were more important than having a hit on a fucking cigarette, having a hit on a line of Coke, having a glass of wine. I decided that my life was more important to me than any of that stuff. This is the consequence of ditching the shortcuts. I actually am here to tell you the tale and to live the story. I healed tumors. How many people do you know that can say that? Because I didn't go, yeah, give me a pill. Yeah, let me take this. Or let me do this real quick. Quick, send me some healing. I didn't do that. I was like, right, this is where we go in. This is how we change our life. And this is how I'm going to change the world. People think that by investing in themselves for a month or for a week or for, 6 months or whatever is enough. I made a decision in February 2014 that I was going to invest in myself for the rest of my life. And I didn't start it until September 2014. And since September 2014, I had the obligatory 6 months of just blagging myself, because we all do that, don't we? And then I went all in and I have never looked back. I'm still here with the womb that I got told had to be removed. I'm still here, looking, in my opinion, looking bloody fabulous at 46 years of age. There is no shortcuts to this. People ask me all the time, they're like, why am I meeting so many toxic people? Because you're putting yourself in toxic situations. John, I'm going to come back to your question and the other questions that are coming up in the chat in a little while, if that's okay. I just want to get this information around the shortcuts going, and then I'm going to come back and answer all of your questions. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. I can see them, and please do keep them coming in. But I will come back to you guys, okay? So think about it. We all take shortcuts when nobody is watching, or when we think nobody is watching. But the consequences of that shortcut can be deadly. So think about it like this. We have an athlete. They are training for the Olympics. And you know what? They've done a few silly things in the lead up to the Olympics. Maybe they've taken a few things that have helped dull the pain and whatever. And then they get to the Olympics. They get there. So they took some shortcuts. They took a bit of this and a bit of that they shouldn't have taken. They get to the Olympics. They're about to run in the final, or they run in the final, and then boom, they get caught. Was that shortcut really worth it? Who were you blagging? Were you blagging the people, or were you blagging yourself? And this is the thing that I say to my clients all the time. When you go and eat that biscuit behind a closed door, when you go and cheat on your partner, when you go and do whatever it is that you're doing, which is not respectful to yourself or anybody else, there's consequences, i.e., people find out. When you sneakily eat that biscuit behind closed doors, it's you. You're blagging you. You're hurting you. So why do we take shortcuts? Why have we been ingrained to take shortcuts? Distractions. Like I say, this culture that we live in of, quickly move on to the next one. This throwaway culture. Our values are not instilled anymore. We don't have values. We don't have standards, because do you know what? When you have standards, you're awkward. You're rude. You're obstructive. So, my friends, this is what is important. You need to get to know you. And for so many people out there, I work with people that are 50, 60 years of age, and I say to them, so tell me, who are you? And they look at me blank. And I sit and I just give them space, and I give them space, and they start crying and they go, I have no idea, Lucy, because they've never once asked themselves that question. The only thing you have from the day you are born till the day you die is you. So why are you not asking yourself these questions? Why are you taking shortcuts? Why are you taking psychedelics to get your connection? Why are you not sat there going, right, what is it that I need? Now, I've got a story, and this lady won't mind me sharing with you. I've got hundreds of stories like this, by the way, but a lady reached out to me very recently. Her husband went on an ayahuasca retreat, and he ended up it doesn't sound as if it was set up correctly and all the rest of it. And basically, he has had issues since doing that retreat. Just a normal, average, everyday guy. He has had issues off the back of that since then for the last, I don't know, I think it may be like 2 years or something like that. The same issue. This is what you guys are meddling with. And the reason people go and do that stuff is because it's a shortcut. Because you don't believe in sitting and actually going deep with yourself, the only thing that you've ever owned in your life. And we've got people out there that go, yeah, come with me. I'm going to give you a bit of this. I'm going to give you a bit of that. I did ayahuasca. I'm not going to lie. I did ayahuasca back in 2014. I was in the Amazon jungle. I went with the shaman to pick the plant. I then watched him brew the plant. I then did the plant. And when the person was losing the plot in our group, the shaman went and found the plant that could neutralize it, the antidote, if you like. That's why you don't mess about with this stuff. Like, I am shocked that there are just so many people out there now that are pimping it out as if it's like sweets. And I know sweets are like drugs because they've got sugar, the worst drug in the world, in, but that's what it's getting like. And the only reason we do it is because we're looking for shortcuts. Now, in my ignorance, innocence, naivety, I don't know, I was introduced to ayahuasca by a friend who I trusted implicitly. I'd never heard of it, I'd never done it. And he said to me, let's go to South America together. So I said, okay, cool. You know me, I love to travel. We went to South America together and he said, let's go and find an ayahuasca retreat. And I said, okay, don't really know what it's about. And then I was told that the first thing that happens when you go under ayahuasca, or when you connect to the plant of ayahuasca, is you see either a snake or a serpent. Now, for those of you that know me, I'm petrified, or I used to be petrified of snakes. So I was like, there's no freaking way I'm going to see a snake. I don't want to see that. So I programmed my mind. I'm very good at doing this, to have the most magical experience ever without seeing a snake and without seeing a serpent. So what did I do? I had the most magical experience. I got shown all of the countries I was going to travel. I got shown the career that I was going to do. I got shown all of this stuff. It was magical. Would I do it again? Absolutely not. I don't need to. I've sat with myself since then. I know myself since then. I can tell you, and I can reel off reams and reams and reams of information as to who Lucy Davis is. And that isn't just, oh, I'm so love and light and I'm perfect and the rest of it. I'm a hot mess sometimes. I sit there and blub to my self-love community when I'm having, these absolute, epiphanies. When I'm channeling, you guys saw when I channeled on Soul School recently, on Soul School Online, like, it makes me emotional as heck. I am a hot mess and I'm okay with that. I'm never going to profess to be anything else. I'm never going to profess to be perfect. And this is the beautiful thing about it. We're not supposed to be here to be perfect. We're supposed to drop the F-bomb. I had a message from someone on Instagram at some point in the last 24 hours. And he said to me, I love how real you are, Lucy. I just love it. He said, yes, you've got a potty mouth, but it's just so real and it's so refreshing. I can't even remember the guy's name, but thank you, whoever you were. It's such a beautiful message to receive because I'm authentic. And the consequence of taking shortcuts is you do not know who you are. You basically go down a path of exploring things that take you away from it. And I am going to call it out. Psychedelics, I channeled in September 2022. One of my good friends, Clara, was with me. I channeled that psychedelics were going to be the next thing that we got manipulated by. And I've stuck to it. There is no way that I would do anything like that now because of that message that I received. And I trust it. I have seen two very, very good men. I've seen lots of people, but two very good spiritual men who like really could have changed the world, surrender everything because of their ego and their greed and their desire of fame, that they got so obsessed with psychedelics that they literally lost everything. There is no shortcut to be taken. If you want to get to the best version of you, you've got to dig deep. People say to me, Lucy, I want to get where you are. This is 2013. I started this. It's 12 years of digging deep, of still facing my challenges, and I'm still far from perfect. Anybody that says to me, oh, I woke up 6 months ago and I'm perfect. Oh, don't believe them. They're talking absolute nonsense. I've been working on myself for 6 months. No, absolute nonsense. You come and have a conversation with me when you're 10 years in. And literally you're like, oh my God, I have seen 25,000 different versions of myself. Like, that's when we will have a decent conversation about it. It's you and you. Ditch the shortcuts. There is no such thing as a successful shortcut. How many of you have taken shortcuts and it's gone tits up? Whether that means driving down a road. I mean, I had a hilarious one in Spain. There was this road that was quite dangerous, but you could drive down it either ways. And it was like a little shortcut. Anyway, one day I got there and the shortcut had been turned into a no entry. And of course, people were like going all over the place. It was wild. It's a perfect example of this. Shortcuts are going to take you down a path that is going to create a whole heap of stuff that you do not need to experience. How many of you have experienced that? I've experienced it loads. Now, the biggest shortcut I witness in everyone is the shortcut of people wishing to connect with their purpose. Oh my God, I'm gonna do a mushroom journey because I need to get connected to my purpose. What do you think that's going to do? What do you think it's going to do? Oh, I'm going to go and do this because it's going to connect me to my purpose. Just be. Connect with yourself. Like, really, really get connected to yourself. You will get your purpose from that. I spoke to a gorgeous lady the other day and she was like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know why this has happened to me. And I was like, that happened to you is exactly your purpose. What you do with it is up to you. If you want to talk to people about it, if you want to write a book on it, whatever, that's your purpose. And we're all like running away from our mess. Guys, your message is in your mess. Now imagine rewiring and refiring this desire to take shortcuts, actually sitting with it and going deep on it and recognizing the trauma as it comes up within you and actually doing something about it. Like, that is what I am going to say. I'm going to give kudos for. It is hard to sit in your own stuff. It is hard to actually sit there when somebody has been mean to you or whatever and not reach out for the cigarette or not reach out for the glass of wine. It's hard not to do that. How many of you guys have been pissed off in the past and you've gone, right, girls, come on, let's go out on the drink or whatever? You know, it's really important that we recognize it. This is all shortcuts. We just want to distract ourselves. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at the most recent comments. But I know lots of comments have taken place. Your passion is in your mess. The message is in your mess. Yep, exactly. My shortcuts was disastrous. Exactly, Sandy. It is like that. Now we need to recognize that every shortcut that we take, and we actually need to go, hey, hang on a minute. I'm about to take a shortcut here. What am I trying to cut out? Normally pain, normally fear, normally, hurt. I don't want to have that conversation with somebody, so I'm just going to put my head in the sand and pretend it didn't happen. How does that shortcut work out for you? Like, we've got to have difficult conversations. The most challenging thing that I can do, ladies and gents, is be vulnerable. It makes me squirm. Vulnerable with my girlfriends. If Katie's still on, she'll tell you I'm vulnerable as heck with my girlfriends. Intimate relationship. It's like I'm having a dagger put through my heart when I have to be vulnerable. Not always, but some of the times. But I looked for a shortcut. How can I get around this? How can I do this? How can I avoid it? But the thing is I always actually have to come back to being bloody vulnerable. So why not just do it? Why not just do it? Why not just go all in the first place? So that's my question to you guys. Are you going to keep spinning the shortcut wheel? Or are you actually going to go all in and recognize it's you and you and be present with it? Like, did you see that massive orb? They agree with me. I get people like the hit that they get off of mushrooms. I get that people like the hit they get off of, vaping or doing DMT or something like that. Like, I get all of that, but be honest about it. You're not going there to do anything other than have a hit, experience a hit. Be honest about it. Recognize it. It is so important that we recognize that shortcuts lead us to roadblocks. It is all about the roadblocks. And then we beat ourselves up. I love what Mowena's put there. I realized my shortcuts were not being seen, but my daughter was watching everything. Exactly. She thought she wasn't being watched, but she was being watched. Shortcuts will never work. It is very important that we recognize this. Right, I've gone back to the question. So John has asked, hopefully he's still with us, how do you meet the right person? Most people believe the mainstream media. It's hard work. Can you date someone who talks about the news when you deep down don't believe in it? Oh, I love this question. I absolutely love this question, John. Right, the response that you're going to get from me today is going to be very, very different to the response that I would have given you back in 2020. In 2020, I would have said, pack your bags and run. Literally, I would have done. However, I've come to a point now whereby I am very peaceful knowing that we are all very different. And I'm very peaceful knowing that whatever gets brought into our consciousness is normally a message for us. Now, does that mean that you want to have the news channel in your house? The answer is no. It's a no-go for me. I don't want the news on in my house either. I don't resonate with it. I think it's a whole heap of shit. I think we're in some massive spin at the moment where, everybody's becoming so confused with what is right and what is wrong because they're starting to weave some of the truth through the news channel. So like people are listening, people are not listening, people don't know whether to believe it or not anymore. And this is the whole point of it. This is the whole point where you just need to know what it is. Now, John, I'm not going to say to you that you can be with somebody who watches the news. What I am saying to you is you need to decide your standards. You need to decide your values, and you need to decide your beliefs. And then you need to decide of that, all of that setup, what is the 80% that you're prepared to put up with, and what is the 20 that you're not. So for example, if somebody puts the news channel on and really that's the only thing that's wrong with them, you know what? You might just choose to suck it up. Nobody is perfect. However, if somebody is abusive towards you and, you know, mean towards you and cheats on you and hurts you, you know, that maybe that's not the 80% that you want to put up with. You know, you need to figure out what aligns with you and then go from there. Now, where these people are hiding, I don't know, John, is the God's honest truth to you. I would go and do things. This is what I say to my girlfriends, and this is what I say to my clients. I would go and hang out at places whereby you meet people on the same wavelength. So, for example, I am plant-based predominantly with my food. So if I wanted to go and meet somebody on my wavelength, I might go and hang out in plant-based cafes. You know, I don't want to meet somebody in a bar. I don't do drinking, although I love going out for dinner and I love that kind of stuff. I don't want to meet somebody who wants to sit in the pub every weekend or wants to hang out in bars every Friday and Saturday night. So for me, I don't want to meet somebody in a bar. So it's really important that you recognize this. It's about setting your standards. It's about absolutely deciding what it is that you're willing to have and what you're not willing to have. Then go hang out in the places where these people hang out. And I'll be honest with you guys, you know, like get along to my seminars. We have loads of people that come along to my seminars who are beautiful, beautiful men, beautiful women. And, you know, you could meet somebody on your wavelength that is working on themselves. And this is the key. This was the key driver for me. When I left my ex, my driver was the next person I'm going to be with has to be willing to work on themselves. If they're not, they're booted to the door. And I'm not just talking a good story. I mean, actually working on themselves day in, day out, because it is very tiring to be with somebody who thinks that they're perfect when they're not. None of us are perfect. Reality check. So we all need to get really, really clear on what it is that we choose, and then what it is that we're willing to perhaps have a priority list on. So maybe there are things that you're like for me, I'm okay with people eating meat around me. It's not a big deal to me. Whereas somebody else might be like, no, that's a deal breaker. For me, a deal breaker is somebody who smokes. I do not want that around me. No way. I'm an ex-smoker. That's the worst thing. Somebody who drinks, smokes, and takes drugs, absolutely not. Like, I'm okay with people having a few beers or whatever, but when it gets too much, nah. You know, but smoking is a thing. Like, why would you want to kiss an ashtray? I used to be an ashtray and I don't want to go back there ever. I've been given up about 14 years and I probably am the worst person in the world where smoking is concerned. I'm really judgy Jane about it because I was that person. So you need to get clear on what that looks like. Now, to somebody else, they would listen to me and be like, God, Lucy, why are you being such a princess? It's a cigarette, it's a vape, it's a drink, it's whatever. It's my personal choice. That's in my 20%. You know, that's in my 20%. So you guys need to just recognize that and you just need to figure it out for yourself. So I hope that's helped, John. Let me know if you're still on, if that has helped at all in the slightest. Life is always lifing and you get distracted. Not many can pause their whole life and travel to a different world and be celebrate with their full life with no distractions. Absolutely. I agree, which is why we need to learn to cope with it in the real world. Like, I was really lucky. I disappeared off. I was celibate. I did all of that stuff, you know, and very publicly as well, because it's all in my book. But the reason I had to do that was so that I could help other people do it without doing that, if that makes sense. You know, I then went back to my life. I then went back to all of the distractions and did it. So it's really, really, really important. I love the fact that Wendy has put 20 years in. It's an everyday game. Personal development is for life, not just for Christmas. Absolutely freaking right on, my beautiful friend. Absolutely agree with you on that one. It is so powerful that we recognize who we are and what we are doing. You cannot literally like blag people anymore. People know, they can see through it. It is so important that you invest in yourself. That's it. Invest in yourself. Learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your intuition. You know, all of these shortcuts of blooming drugs and psychedelics and freaking everything, blagging each other. It is so important. It is so important for you to go on that journey. Live from living here in your head to living in your heart. Once you have activated that heart connection, there is no going back. Don't get me wrong, it still has work every single day. Like I say about the vulnerable thing, like I never used to be vulnerable with anybody. Now I'm vulnerable with my family, my friends. It's just the intimate thing that I'm still working on. But the fact that I've done it with everybody else when I couldn't do it at all, I know that it's possible. I know it's going to happen. Love that, Melanie. So, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, and shortcuts. Yes, absolutely. Everything is around shortcuts. We need to be very, very clear. You have to decide what it is for your life. It would be a no for me, still looking for that partner who holds the same values in alignment with me. Just remember, Sylvia, you have to, like, what I would recommend is absolutely have your standards. However, just be very clear, you're not perfect. So why would they be perfect? So it might be that you going never, 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 it might actually be the universe says, I'm going to humble you. And actually, you're going to fall in love with somebody who watches the news once a day or something. Love that. So Wendy's put, I've joined a singing club and Pilates. I'm just about to go back to Pilates too, Wendy. It's a great place to meet people on your wavelength. Like for me, I want to meet some new girlfriends that are on the same wavelength as me. Don't get me wrong, I have the best girlfriends in the world. I really, really am. Lizzie, I really do have the best girlfriends, but however, I just, I'm up for meeting new people all the time. So Lizzie has put, I think that was a sign for the universe for your new dating site, Lucy. I'll do that with my toes whilst I'm working on everything else with my fingers. Yeah, I absolutely love this so much. Everybody has been talking about me doing a dating introductory agency for a very long time. Actually, everybody wanted a dating app, and I said no. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do an introductory agency, so I can ask all of the difficult questions like, do you have any kinks, do you have any quirks, what are your sexual preferences, because people don't ask these questions. And then this sweet innocent young lady meets up with somebody who wants to do bondage, and it's like, no, we don't need this in our life. So I want to take all of that stuff away from it. I love that, being with someone willing to work on themselves all the way. Yep, absolutely. Cliff, it's good to see you. I've not seen you on here in a very long time, my friend. I hope you are well. It's really important that we invest in ourselves and we know what it is that we choose. I can't be with somebody lazy, because if I'm with somebody lazy, they don't value themselves. It's as simple as that. Again, smoking. If you smoke, you don't value yourself. You're sabotaging yourself. So why would I want to be with somebody who does that? Because if you're willing to sabotage yourself, which is the only thing that you have, you're going to be willing to sabotage the relationship. Love it. Guys, do keep sharing your ideas as to where you can meet people and different things, because some people are coming up with some really good things like drumming circles and things like that. It's amazing. You guys genuinely start sharing all of this stuff, because you'll help other people go, oh my God, yeah, I never thought about drumming circle. Oh my God, never thought about going to a sound bath. Oh, I never thought about doing this. So it's really, really, really important. So Lizzie just wants to be the poster child for the dating site. Now we get to the crux of it, don't we? Yes, Alison, my questions will be very, very open and very intriguing. Like it would be awkward, especially because some of you will be like, oh my God, I'm her client and I can't be honest about this. Of course you can. Like, it's really important to meet somebody who is on your wavelength. It's important to meet somebody. Like, life is too short to have basic sex, right? If you like basic sex, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to have passionate, connecting, groundbreaking sex, then you have to be honest about it and go find the people that give that to you. Likewise, if you are a deep person, I am a deep person, right? I literally love deep conversations, and it is dangerous. My coach says to me all the time, stop it, bring it lighter, bring it up a little bit, Lucy. You don't have to be so deep. But I love deep conversations. There is no point in me being with somebody who is superficial as heck when I want to talk deep. Think we need a working group for this dating questionnaire. Alison, are you offering, my darling? From shortcuts to passionate sex. Well, who doesn't want to talk about passionate sex at 5 p.m. on a Monday? 5:50 actually here in the UK. So it's really important that you recognize this. Women's circles, it's great to go and hang out and find new friends, entrepreneur stuff. Love it. A female friend has gone to Peru today for a spiritual retreat. Amazing. What a place to go and meet people. It's every single thing. Every single thing. I'm just watching the comments come in about the questions and the questionnaires and the coaching and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, whoa. Let's rein it back in here. So it's really important that we recognize what it is that we choose for our life, and we have to go deep on it. We really, really do have to make sure that we stop taking these shortcuts. You know, like we're all looking for a quick way of doing it. Why? Your life is the only thing that you have. So, can I please have a commitment from you guys? Can we get our heads out of the sex world now? Can I have a commitment from you guys? That every single time you look at yourself and you'll go, oh, yeah, this is a quick shortcut, or this is this, or this is that you're actually going to call yourself out on it and stop yourself doing it. Like, wade through the shit, wade through it, sit with it, go deep on it, and free yourself once and for all. Ladies and gents, if you would like to come and hang out with me on the 22nd of March, I'm hoping that Lizzie, my beautiful moderator on here, is going to post a link for you guys. The 22nd of March is going to be explosive. We are going to look at everything that has been corrupting your mind, all of the programs that you're running, every reason you've given yourself to hold yourself back from success, you know? And we're going to look to go deep into it so that we can actually figure out what we need to do to change that and create the rest of our life being the best of our life. If you're fed up with settling and you really do want to take your life to a whole new level, please, my friends, come along, hang out with me. We'll do a bit of dancing. There'll be loads of people for you guys to meet. So for you single people out there, get your butts there. There will be loads of people that are on your wavelength, that are there looking to invest in themselves, make themselves a better person. You know, I'm all about personal development, and it's not because I teach it, it's because I do it day in, day out. It would be very hypocritical of me not to do it day in, day out. So if you guys want to come and hang out on the 22nd of March, please do that. And I look forward to seeing you then. Ladies and gents, it's been my absolute pleasure. Oh, yes, thank you, Veronica. So we are having a bit of a flash sale. The tickets are £77, and for children, we've put a child's price out. I had so many messages from parents about children that were between 12 and 17 years of age. So I was like, fine, okay, let's create a ticket price for the children. So if you want to come, you want to bring your kids, we've got a special price for the children to come along. So I look forward to seeing you back here next Monday. I don't think there's any reason why I can't be here. I look forward to seeing you all on the 22nd. We're going to have a big group hug, and I'm going to have lots of squeezes with you. Wendy Smith, I'll speak to you in the next couple of days, my friend. I love you to the moon and stars. Thank you all for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. Have the most beautiful rest of your Monday. Really fantastic week, and I will see you with some more jaw-dropping things next Monday. Lots of love, guys. Ciao, ciao for now. Take